brand new beginning. I'm ready for your heart. Gonna show you my true self, make each step worthwhile. I'm all energized, so let's dance the night away, baby.
Hey, Yestin, how are you, mate? How's everything going? Welcome to Chats with Alex.
Thanks for having me, Alex. Not too bad, mate. The weather's out there. It's that time of the year. It's getting warmer and warmer and warmer. Feeling fantastic, mate. How about yourself? Been well?
Been doing well, man. Or got some new music out and stuff like that. What about you? Do you have any new songs at the moment?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I just released a new song today. It's called The Real Package. If you haven't heard it, it's up on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music. Go check it out.
What's the song about? What's the story behind the song?
The Real Package is about someone that's willing to, take all the risk of treating someone with respect, despite um, the people's different perceptions of other people. So it's kind of like you see a guy that's not like not masculine, strong at anything. Is going out just going for a girl that's extremely hot, way out of his league. It's like he would still treat her like a princess and all that.
I love it. And what inspired you to write it?
Um, I just saw from a couple of past relationships with a couple of people that I knew, and I just felt some of them were okay. Some of them I just felt it was just a lot of toxic behavior that I was seeing at the time. And when I was seeing a couple of people, um, yeah, they weren't too bad itself and all that, but they've always talked about how, yeah, some guys have treated them like this and that and everything else, and just kind of like, okay, like you know, shouldn't they be more focused on? How can I put it? Shouldn't they be more focused on the main qualities, the personalities, the respect, the decency, good old fashioned manners, that sort of stuff.
I love it. I agree with you. Do you reckon you could give me a bit of a snippet of the song if you have a guitar handy?
I can sing a cappella.
A cappella sounds good.
Yeah. It's like, baby, I want to hold you in my arms. Baby, you could do anything you want with me. I'll tell you why. 'Cause you're my love. You are the real package.
Very nice. I enjoyed that. Very smooth. Good luck with it, man. I hope it goes well. Yes, and that was awesome, man. When it comes to your musical taste and like when you were growing up, who did you listen to around the house and who would your parents be like playing?
Oh, my mum had a lot of like vinyl music from the 70s and the 80s. And I was so used to the music beats that it just kind of stuck with me to this very day. But the very first artist that I actually liked a lot was the Wiggles. When they Mari was my favorite. And when I was in primary school, and this was when I started to I liked the artist even more. It became like my main icon. It was actually none other than the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson. Because the first time I heard of Michael Jackson, the music just made me want to dance. It just made me want to just move around and that sort of stuff. And there's something there's this aura that he has that it's just very untouchable, and that's why he's inspired a lot of many generations of artists even to this very day.
He was amazing, and you've got a quality voice which always reminds me of Michael whenever I hear you. So yeah, man, definitely you've got that quality in your voice as well.
Yeah, I've always get compared to Michael Jackson when it comes to the singing style, that sort of stuff, especially when I sing like pop songs, ballad songs. I've been singing a lot of Michael Jackson songs since primary school, and every time I do a Michael Jackson song, it's going, yep, classic Yestin, typical Yestin. And even when it comes to like dance parties or weddings, when Billie Jean hits on, I always just get pushed in and just do the usual spin, the moonwalk, etc., etc. Michael Jackson is very synonymous with me. I always get tagged in a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Could you give us a spin of one of your favorite Michael songs?
Ah, there's plenty. But the one I love the most is obviously Billie Jean.
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah. Oh, Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girlie who claims I am the one. But the kid is not my son.
What do you think it takes for an artist to um, be similar to Michael and like inspire others in that way?
Oh, look, the music industry has changed a lot, since the late 70s and the 80s. But to get to Michael's level, you have to just tour a lot. You have to play shows. You have to understand the demographics, see what's out there, what the trend is, that sort of stuff. And it's not just that, but you also got to think about the image. Okay, what are you presenting yourself as in a lot of ways? And what is it that like that your people want to see? You need to just make yourself different out there in a lot of sense. And Michael has always been the type of person that involves, like when he did off the wall, he didn't want it to sound like the Jacksons at all. And then when he wasn't happy about the off the wall, even though it was one of the best selling albums of all time, he wanted to make every single hit of Thriller like it's like a blockbuster hit, every single one of them, and he proved that right. So it pretty much takes a lot of dedication, like heaps and heaps and heaps of dedication.
Yeah, totally agree. Dedication and determination. And for you, what do you hope to achieve with your music career?
For now, I want to see how people respond well to my music, and I want to get much more exposure as much as possible. I want to push it far beyond than where I am right now. No, so I like to test the waters of certain genres,
Mm.
what's been more suitable, because I don't want to be seen as just a pop artist. I want to infuse other styles just to see how it is.
Yeah, I get that. And for you, would you ever consider going on a program like The Voice or Australian Idol or um, what's the other one, X Factor or something like that for you?
Absolutely not, never.
How come?
The problem with those shows is that, especially when you look at The Voice, is that they produced a lot of contrived stories that I just found it's just really forced in a lot of ways. And the problem that you see with a lot of the winners, with those shows is that, they don't really have a lot of successes outside of that afterwards. I mean, if this was 2003 when Guy Sebastian won the first season, yeah, it would have happened. But a lot of the winners just usually just plays at smaller venues, whereas yeah, the runner ups and all that, they seem to have more success.
Yeah.
Even though Guy Sebastian, he's still popular to this very day. He's one
Yeah.
of the few exceptions.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's one of the few exceptions because he was at that time and he had the really cool fro as well and made a big impact. I remember watching it when I was young around with my family on the TV. It was really awesome, and I've followed him ever since. So yeah, what do you think about
Yeah.
what he's achieved?
Oh, Guy Sebastian has achieved a lot the past 22 years, because I remember when I first saw him on Australian Idol, I wasn't really into it when it first came around, but I started watching it. I think it was the final three when Cosimo it just went out, and I remember watching like the grand final between him and Shannon Knoll, and I remember like a lot of my and this was like when I was little. I can't remember. I was probably just a little tucker at the time, but I remember when when guys saying "Angels brought me here," I thought, yeah, this guy's going to be someday. But Shannon Knoll, he had his like his own like sort of like fan base and all that because he's kind of like he represents the true Aussie battler. But when I heard Shannon Knoll's cover of "What About Me," I thought, okay, this guy's definitely going to be big as well, despite coming runner up. And no, he's proven that like he's still going around. And I'm actually going to be me and my mates are going to be seeing him on the 7th of November at Chelsea Heights Hotel.
Oh, that sounds good. I might go check that out. I feel like he's got good appeal because he's like that, genuine person, country guy, and people relate to that.
Yeah, and he's still rocking at 50 years old. I mean, the guy looks like he's like 38, 39. And no, the guy's like he's like no, he's a legend. Like Knowles is a bloody legend, and I'm looking forward to seeing him this time in 2 weeks.
I remember when he was on The Masked Singer, from the first time I heard the voice behind the mask, I was like, oh, yeah, I know who that is. And I guessed it from the first episode that was Shannon Knoll.
Like Knowlesy's got a very recognizable voice. I mean, like he's always had that like that bout out sort of singing style, and that's what I've always loved about him. I mean, like when people think of like the greatest like Aussie voices of all time. I mean, most people think it's Jimmy Barnes or John
Mm.
Farnham, but when you can easily see someone that's always up there, I'd say like Knowlesy, in my opinion, would be there as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I love Jimmy Barnes though too. I've always liked his voice because it's really like raspy and cool.
Yeah, and the range is just ridiculous because I remember my tape teacher, who's a guitarist. Yeah, you would have heard of the band Dallas Crane. They did that song back in '05 called "Sit on My Knees,"
Yes, yes, I do know
and
that.
he was just telling me like how crazy Barnesy was and all that, and it's just like, I mean, it's true and everything. And I saw Cold Chisel late last year when they were playing at Flemington, and I even met his missus near the stage, and she was a really nice lady. I thought she was a sweetheart, and I even got a photo with her.
Oh, nice. I've seen them on Facebook Live. They do like a lot of singing videos together at their house and stuff. And I always watch their like live shows. It's really cool. I love that family like camaraderie that he's got with his whole family.
That's what I always loved about Barnesy. I mean, like he went from like being like a crazy nut job, like just drinking, like alcohol, things like vodka or whatever it was on stage, and now he's just like like integrating like a certain cultural aspects into his day to day basis in a lot of ways.
And not many people know that his son's David off Channel 9, I'm pretty sure.
Really, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Now I know.
Yeah. And his daughter's, I think, Mahalia Buns, I'm pretty sure.
Mahalia, I think I remember her because I remember he did like a duet with one of his daughters, quite a few years back.
Mm. I think with like Shannon Knoll and Guy Sebastian, because we've known them for so long, they like, I don't know, we relate to them so much because we got to know them for so many years. But if you don't have that platform where you like are able to be be known, then what do you think you need to do to for people to get to know you on a more personal level as an artist?
Oh, look, if we're talking like back in the day, like the early 2000s, um, because social media had just started taking off around the time. Because I mean, Facebook, just existed a year later. Um, 2003 was a completely different time, right? Because this was like when VHS was like, slowly declining and DVD was pretty much, becoming the norm. During that period, I would be playing like gigs, like, at pubs or, or whatever, set up a website. I mean, like, I don't know, um, what it would be like, at the time. But if I was doing this now, no, I would be posting a lot of, like, in Instagram, TikTok videos, because the music industry has changed a lot since then. And the way I see it is that, Instagram is pretty much, the main platform for advertisements, and TikTok is like a massive tool, a massive, massive important tool that you need.
And what's your Instagram handle? Are you on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube?
Yes, I am. So, if you guys want to follow me, it's Yestin Sanchez Music on Instagram, and I'm also on TikTok, just under my name, Yestin Sanchez, or Yesty Zesty. You'll see me there. So, these are the main platforms I generally use to advertise my music.
And Spotify and Apple Music as well?
Yeah, I advertise on Spotify every time I release a new single, because Spotify is usually the main platform.
Yeah, and what do you like about Spotify versus Apple Music?
Spotify is more integrating, like, you appeal more to creators. Whereas like Apple Music, it's more like, for people. I don't really have much to say about Apple Music, to be honest, because I haven't really, like, paid much attention to it since the iTunes days.
Yeah, I think Spotify is the main one at the moment. And
Yeah.
when it comes to like analytics and stuff, do you pay much attention to your Spotify streams or you don't really care?
I do every now and then, just to
Yeah.
see, okay, what is it that I can improve, um, marketing strategy wise for my next singles in the future. So that way I've got a bit of understanding, okay, when's the appropriate time to post this, and how can I, like, make it false and all that. So I look at the pros and cons.
And whereabouts is your main like audience from? Is it Australia or is it like somewhere overseas?
Mainly here, domestic wise at the moment, but I've had a few exposures, a bit like in the US. But a few years ago, when I released "Be Happy," it was a massive hit in Latvia out of the blue, which I was not expecting that. Latvia, out of all countries.
That's good. Would you ever go and do a concert down there?
Yes, I would. I
Nice.
definitely would. I mean, I'd like to, like, visit Europe, because I've never actually been to Europe ever. I mean, I've only been to like America and and Colombia,
And
and like, sorry.
how was your trip in USA and what did you think of it?
USA was pretty fantastic, but just the meals they got over there is just absolutely ridiculous. Just the size and all that. I was just kind of like, holy moly.
Yeah, we don't eat that much over here. Smaller portions, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest difference over there, because they've got a lot of franchises over there. And they get a lot of the stuff, just kind of, just comes here to Australia. But it's just like, when I went there the first time, I was just like, oh my God, it's fantastic. And it was pretty cold at the time, because that was the first time I've ever, like, experienced the snow. I remember my auntie, she would always throw like a snowball. And I was like, ah.
Because we don't get much of snow in Melbourne as they do over there.
Yeah, comparison over there. I mean, the closest you're going to get is just go to Mount Buller.
Yeah, I remember going there as a kid quite a lot. Um,
I've actually have never been there, because I remember my school, they used to have like a ski trip there, I think once a year.
Yeah, it's nice. Did you go to Nashville in America?
No. So when I was in America, um, I was because we took the plane from Melbourne to LA, and as soon as we arrived at LA, like the security there was just so tight that it's just like you couldn't like move an inch, Because I remember they made us take our shoes off, take the belts off, and just walk like backwards and forward. It was just like full on,
Yeah,
and
but
then yeah.
once you get through that, that's when the good times start, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. So we only spent a few hours in LA. So we ultimately went to New York City, and then when we came back from Colombia, we went to Miami. And
Florida.
this was like during the winter times. I mean, it was a huge difference. I mean, it was bloody cold in New York. It's no surprise. And then we were in Miami. It was like mildly hot, which I enjoyed the pretty weather.
What month did you go in?
Um, We went in December
Oh,
in
yeah.
New York, and then the next month we went to Miami.
Did you get to see the Christmas like festivities in New York or when they were on?
Yes, yes, we did. Because like New York is well known to have its Christmas festivals and all that. And when we saw like the humongous tree that it's well known for, it was just like Jesus Christ. Like I don't know how they put it up there, but it was just like ridiculously tall. But at the same time, it was just absolutely beautiful. So I remember my dad always get like me, my brother, my mum, and the rest of the family that were living there all in one photo. Okay, I wanted to do this angle and get this angle. I'm just kind of like, okay, Dad, we know you're obsessed with with the Christmas tree. Can we just go? It's bloody freezing.
Who performed there that time?
There wasn't any famous artists that we saw at the time. It was just basically your general sort of like Christmas thing in a lot of ways. I mean, if I knew there was someone there, I mean, like I would have got it there and all that. But I was very little at the time when I went there.
Do you want to go back again?
Um, yeah, I definitely would. I actually would love to go to America because I want to see you know how the music industry over there works there in comparison to Australia.
And who is one of your favorite like current American artists or even like an Australian artist that's made it like well known over in America?
Oh, that's a tough call at the moment. I mean, I don't really pay a lot of attention to the artists these days, but if you're talking like a few like American artists, um, let's see from the top of my head. I mean, Bruno Mars is one of them. I'd like to see Bruno Mars. Um, Lady Gaga is actually not too bad. He's another one, but in terms of Australian artists. Um, Client liaison, like they've been my favourites, and they've had like a bit of exposure in America the last couple of years. And I've met Monty and Harvey a number of times, including Tom Tilley off Triple J back in the day. And no, they were just full on down to earth guys. I love them so much. But one artist that I reckon that's going to like dominate Australia within the next few years is Keita Alexandra herself.
Can you tell us a bit more about her?
So Keita Alexander, she's like a pop artist based out in New South Wales, I think Bondi Beach or whatever. And she was the opening act for Dua Lipa when I saw her earlier this year, and she was like magnificent. I thought she was fantastic because I actually wanted to see her in July, which I actually bought a ticket um, to see her. As a matter of fact, it was a meet and greet, and I couldn't go because I had work that night, which sucks. But as soon as I saw the videos, I was just like, man, I'd love to see her again. Like I thought she was a sweetheart. I mean, she's doing a lot for herself. Or in the late 20s, she's already got 2 kids, married. I mean, like a Bondo girl performed barefooted on stage, guitar, mixing like electronic sort of stuff. I just thought, yeah, there's just something about her that I really like. And when I went with my mate to see Dua Lipa when she was the opening act, he just straight away said, "No, I love her, man."
Dua Lipa.
Keita Alexander, but Dua Lipa, she was awesome as well because I remember she actually did a cover of Natalie Imbruglia's "Torn."
Oh,
We went that night because the night before that she did AC/DC's "Highway to Hell," which I'm going to see AC/DC in November as well. So I am a bit of a concert goer because I like to just go out there and just see some of the
do
others I
you
actually
sing
enjoy.
Torn?
Do I sing "Torn"?
Yeah.
I don't really know the lyrics off by
Okay.
heart, to be honest, but that is something I could learn in the time being because there's been like a lot of like massive resurgences of like the 90s and 2000s anthems. So that's something I've been looking forward to be doing in the not too distant future, which you'll be seeing that later on.
Hey, Yestin, one of my favorite songs I've heard you do around town is the Lion King cover, which you do.
I get that a lot. Every time I perform at gigs or open mics, I always get asked to do the Lion King song, aka the Wimbleway song. I always get asked about that.
I feel like when I hear you do that, you just like have so much joy when you sing it, and everyone like feels that joy and the love you bring to that song.
That's what I love about it because every time I perform "The Lion Sleeps Tonight," like the energy that I receive from the crowd is just like astonishing. Everyone's always like singing the "We" or "He." As well as dancing. It just brings it alive because, I mean, you don't really hear it at a lot of gigs, but it's just like a very popular song that you hear,
I
and you know the
genuinely,
lyrics off by heart.
I genuinely feel like you should release that as your own single, as a cover, but like make it your own single and then do a music video to it, and it would be like a smash hit all across Australia.
I was actually thinking about that the other day. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about it again this morning, whether I should release a cover of "The Lion Sleeps Tonight." Um, Music video wise, that's not entirely ruled out, but that's something I could think of. But as long as I release this single, that'll be awesome. But that's something I'm definitely going to consider in the future.
I really look forward to see what you do with that because it's one thing when you do it live, but then when you actually record it, you've got all these other elements which you can, I feel, bring to it, which will just be
Yeah,
really fun to hear what you come up with.
that'll be awesome.
Um, what do you enjoy most about what it is you do? And if you don't mind sharing, like a story about an experience you've had in music which like really touched your heart.
Yep. Um, what touched my heart? There's plenty to choose from. Um, probably the most Probably the one that I that touched me the most was most recently back in May when I sang a cover of Michael Jackson's "Gone Too Soon." I performed the song a number of times, but one of my friends' girlfriends, unfortunately, passed away back in May at the age of 28, and I felt like um, that the best way I can do a tribute is by performing a song down at the SB. So I got someone to record me doing the performance song, but I wasn't going to post. I wasn't going to post it on social media, just out of respect for my mate. But as soon as I showed him the video, he just said, "Yeah, you go for it, man." So I thought, yeah, why not? As long as it was consensual, that's the main thing. And when I posted, I had a lot of got a lot of compliments. Has some private messages saying like, "Yestin, that was like fantastic. Sorry about your friend, and this song is over synonymous with you." And like the way you sing it harder is just magnificent in a lot of ways.
That's beautiful, and I'm happy to hear that you were able to give a good tribute. Um,
Yeah.
you mentioned the SB. Have you performed there quite a lot, or whereabouts do you perform?
Yes, I have. Um, the first time I ever performed at the SB was back in 2021 in the Gershwin band room, and like the crowd there were really fantastic. I enjoy like it far more in comparison to the basement, but I still like the basement. It's just more like the preference. But I always perform there like almost every Tuesday nights down there.
Yeah.
So, if you guys want to, yeah, you just want to, want to catch up and all that, I'll be there like every Tuesday nights at the SB. That's pretty much my home these days. And there's a lot of like, like fantastic up and coming artists that I strongly recommend people to go down. And for those that want to get more exposure, I would go down there because I mean, the SB is like one of the most like iconic venues around Australia, let alone Melbourne.
And do you think St Kilda is a place to be for upcoming artists at the moment in Melbourne?
Yes, it is. St Kilda has a rich history of a lot of music artists. I mean, Paul Kelly's obviously like gets his name thrown a lot around.
Um, where would you love to perform most in Melbourne in terms of the venue?
Oh, that's a lot to choose from. I mean, the Gershwin Room would be awesome. Bigger stage wise, Moorabbin Town Hall. But if we're going to go bigger, I'd love to do Rod Laver at Marvel or even the MCG.
Yeah, maybe halftime AFL game.
I've got a long way to go there, mate. But
What
that's
football
something like
what football team do you go for?
the Blues, mate. Carlton, hands down, mate. The greatest team of all time,
Very
in my
nice.
opinion.
Yeah. Go the Bombers. Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you go on this one, mate. Go on this one, mate. If you said Collingwood, mate, and that's a different story.
Yeah, we can agree on that.
Yeah.
Um, what's the theme tune for your football team? Could you sing a bit of that?
Um, I only know like two lines of it, to be honest. I know it's a bit embarrassing. It's like, we are the Navy Blues. We are the whole dark Navy Blues. And then so that, oh man, I've got to read those lyrics properly. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, very nice. Football's a big part of our culture here in Australia, so it's good to like follow, I think.
Yeah, it's always had a rich history. Um, like yeah, Aussie footy rules or footy, whatever you want to call it. And no, I've always like enjoy seeing the game, going to the games and that sort of stuff. And like, I've got a mate who unfortunately is a Collingwood supporter. We always go there every single year, and I've got like another group of mates. They're all Saint supporters that we go there. We always have a little bet,
Mm.
whoever teams wins. So when the Blues beat the Saints earlier this year, end up winning like a slab of Summersby,
Oh,
which I
nice.
still got in my garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what's your favorite beer to drink?
Beer. Okay. A lot of people take the piss out of me when it comes to Summersby, even though that's technically cider. Beer wise, it's Carlton Draft, VB on tap, Carlton Dry. There's a lot to name a few.
Yeah. I actually quit drinking recently, so it's really weird to not drinks. Been on the non-alcoholic stuff myself.
Oh, fantastic! Congratulations.
Thank
How
you.
long have you been sober for now?
Bit over 2 months.
No, go on, you mate. Keep going. The longest I ever did was nearly 9 months during COVID.
Nice. And would you yourself ever want to be in a band, or is that something you've thought of?
Yeah, I actually would like to be in the band. I have been in several bands in the past. Most of them were short lived.
Yeah. What do you think it takes to be in like a successful band?
Um, Successful band. What it takes to be a successful band is that you got to understand like each band members strengths or weaknesses. You need like a booking agent and a manager that understands the industry really well, the marketing strategy, all that sort of stuff. And like what's happening like in certain scenes, how is it that we can appeal to that sort of marketing or the demographic, whichever you want to call it.
Yeah. I can imagine you in a band. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like to get back, with a band. Yeah, one of these days, and that's something like I do see it happening in the future. Once again,
Yes, and if you could collaborate with anyone, who would it be? Alive or dead?
Michael Jackson.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Michael Jackson, but there are other artists I'd love to collaborate aside from him. It's just unfortunately he's no longer with us. But if there's like some sort of like time travel machine or just a way to just to bring people back from from the dead, I mean, Michael Jackson's like a number one guy I'd go to straight away.
What about like Janet Jackson? Would you think about that?
Janet Jackson, I wouldn't mind doing it with Janet Jackson. As a matter of fact, I actually I love a lot of Janet Jackson's music that I grew up listening to. And I actually saw her back in 2019 at the R&B Fridays Festival, and no, she was fantastic.
That's nice. Yeah, I can see that. What about like the Beatles? Have you been a fan of them at all? Or-
Um, I've always had huge respects for the Beatles. I mean, they've no doubt, like changed the music industry for good. It sucks I didn't get to see Paul McCartney a few years ago because my mate actually bought 3 tickets for him and myself and another mate, and they literally sat like they were in the third row. Literally, they sat in the third row, and I was thought, bugger, but I was working that day, the spring carnival around that time.
Oh, so you missed out.
Yeah, Paul McCartney. I would have loved to see Paul McCartney.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah.
Um, do you like Keith at all?
Uh, Keith
Keith Urban.
Urban.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith Urban. I don't mind a lot of his stuff. As a matter of fact, I did Stupid Boy as for my year 11 recital end
I
of
love that
exam.
song.
Yeah, love that
That's a
song.
classic. I also like his other song, Sometimes Angels Can't Fly, which is like one of his earlier hits, and not many people know it, but that's a good one. I was wondering, like, what do you think is good for an artist if they play better guitar or sing better than they play guitar, or what do you need to have like a happy medium to do what you love, do you think?
Um, Personally, I think like as long as the band sounds tight in general, um, there should be no problem at all.
Yeah, agreed. Um, yes, then is there anything else you'd like to share here with us today?
Um, can't think from the top of my head other than the other new song, The Real Package, which is
Yes.
available, like I said before. It's on all stream platforms, including Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music. So get onto it. And if you guys want to follow me, my Instagram is Yestin Senches Music. and you can also find me on TikTok.
TikTok as well. Nice. And
Yes.
can I ask you, with the fan that you've like known, what's a special fan experience you've had with the fan up to now?
Exceptional fan. Um, I've had a couple of people just saying to me, "Oh, you're the Michael Jackson guy that also sings the Wim Away song," and I always get requested to do the Wim Away song every time I'm always at open mic. And we always have this little tradition at the SB. So every time I always play the Line Sleeps Tonight as the very last song because that's how like the crowd gets like a very committed, gets all energized. I always have this guy called Callum that always plays the trumpet. And I always just say to him, Callum, you know the drill. Next thing he just goes there, gets the treasure trumpet out of his case, and then we start playing it.
Nice. I love the trumpet. It's a great instrument.
No, absolutely.
When it comes to the community of music lovers in Melbourne, could you like share your experience? What is everyone like here in terms of the community and how do they support one another?
Um, this is something that I have noticed the last several weeks is that when it comes to the music community here in Melbourne, I find them to be very supportive, especially when you go in person. Because one of the aspects that I've learned about going to the SB every Tuesday night, especially when they had their mega open mic nights once in a while inside the Gershwin band room, is that they're very so supportive that they just want to just ask you all these questions like, okay, like how do you approach this to the songwriting aspects, and what is it that I can do and that sort of stuff. So we kind of share ideas in a lot of way, and that's what I've always loved about it. And they want to connect with you in a lot of ways. And I made a lot of contacts that night. And since then, I just felt the support has been dramatically increasing, non-stop, and that's something that I hope to get out of it more. So I made it a commitment this year to perform at least 50 times, as you know, Alex, which I did it by mid-year, and I only got back recently. And next year, I've decided that I want to aim for at least 60 times performing, but it will most likely go beyond that because the more that I perform, the more I get more exposure, the more connections, the more networks um, there will be. Yes.
Are you an actor as well, Yestin?
Yes, I do.
Have you acted in many like short films or feature films?
I have done a number of student films in the past.
Um, and how's your experience doing that?
Um, no, very pretty chill, pretty straightforward, relaxed, and all that. It's good to work with our kids. They've got passion for stuff that they want to do later on in life. And no, I found you're very interesting. You meet some other actors that take their craft very seriously and all that. Because I did acting when I was at school, and I felt like I enjoyed it and all that. But people see me as more the muso guy.
Yeah, you're multi-talented.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, acting is something that I want to branch into it once again because I haven't done it for a few years. That's something that I've recently have thought about.
For some reason, I can see you acting with Jackie Chan. I don't know why, but I think you would be really good.
Jackie Chan, yes, he's actually my favorite actor. Jackie Chan.
Oh, really? Have you seen all the films?
I've seen it. I know all stuff about Jackie Chan. I've seen his films. I've done like a topic on him when I did Year 10 People Power, and even the teacher was going how does this guy know about Jackie Chan and that sort of stuff. And I remember the one constructive criticism he just said to me was, "Yeah, next time just use your cue cards, but everything else, well done." Just gave me an A on the spot.
Oh, that's great. Have you seen
Yeah.
the movie he filmed
So,
in Melbourne?
Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen it. The poster for it was just terrible, absolutely terrible. It's just like there's no way inside Melbourne Central it would explode. But I've always been a huge fan of Jackie Chan because the thing I love about him and Michael Jackson is they're fully dedicated. Because like when it comes to like Jackie Chan, because um, it's interesting because he grew up he grew up in in Hong Kong, and like he went to like a drama school, opera drama school, which they only focus mainly on like singing, dancing, and martial arts. And the stuff that I was reading about it was just ridiculous, and that's how he was disciplined very well. Because like back in those days, like in the 70s when Bruce Lee died, he used to work with this director called Lo Wei. They tried to make him to the new Bruce Lee. That was like a lot of number of people coming up. It wasn't working really well. Then when he did the Snake and the Eagle Shadow, he just became a household name.
Yeah, I feel like the Rush Hour movies really propelled him to international success.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like when he first did the big brawl in 1980s, first American film. Um, the American audiences weren't really prepared for international superstars at the time. The way they depicted Asians at the time and that sort of stuff, it's kind of it was kind of like comical and all that, but it was just kind of like no, it's just a bit ridiculous because like he played a Japanese driver, the Cannibal Run, when he was technically Chinese, and you could tell he was speaking of it, and then because like there's a huge difference between the Hong Kong and Hollywood movies. And Jackie Chan, had a lot of frustrations. Like when he did The Protector in '85, he had a lot of arguments. It got so bad that he walked off, but he had to come back because of his obligations. But then he changed it for the Hong Kong release, and that was in response to that he ended up making Police Story, which is his best film and my all time favorite film, and that broke the barriers.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And what about the new Karate Kid movie? Did you like that?
Um, I enjoyed it. With having him and Ralph Macchio in it together, I felt it was like enjoyed. I mean, it wasn't like the best in the series. Nothing will top the original, but no, I enjoyed it more than the third Karate Kid and the last one that he did in 2010.
Some of my favorite Jackie Chan movies are the Shanghai Night, Shanghai Noon. That's
Yeah,
with Owen Wilson.
yeah, good old Wilson, mate. I loved him. Because Jackie Chan's Hollywood films and all that, but if you look at his films in the 70s, 80s, and 90s in Hong Kong, it's completely very different because like Jackie Chan has admitted in interviews that he wasn't really like a fan of some of the Hollywood films, especially the Rush Hour films, because they weren't allowing him to do a lot of stunts and all that, just endurance and everything. Even though they still did some of them, but it wasn't like on a big scale basis. But if you look at his like earlier films prior to Rush Hour, you'll see how ridiculous it is.
Yeah, I think some of those earlier films were pretty good. But he's also a great singer as well. I don't know if you know, he sings too.
I know that as well because he always sings a lot of his theme music songs. Like in his movies towards the end. Because one of the things I love about Jackie Chan films is that he always he puts the outtakes so during the credits.
Yes, that's hilarious.
Looks
Yeah.
like a Jackie Chan trademark.
I
Yeah,
feel
because he's
like
been doing that since Dragon Lord.
we need to bring him down to open mic to sing a song for us.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man. I'd love to meet Jackie Chan one day, man. So what made you say that you see me in a movie with Jackie Chan?
Um, I just feel like your style and look would fit really well in a movie. I don't know if you do karate or anything like that or taekwondo.
I used to I did do a bit of martial arts when I was little, and that was about it. But I'd like to get back into martial arts one day, just a fitness and all that. I'm actually kind of looking for a school at the moment.
Oh yeah. I look forward to hear more about that when you start doing that.
Yeah, just gotta work on that really well.
Hey, yes, and I love that we connected through the open mic nights. It's really awesome knowing you and seeing you around.
Yeah, likewise with you, man. I mean, like, I love how you always perform your original songs. Every single week you challenge yourself as well as performing like, covers that, most people, wouldn't expect. I mean, I remember when you did the cover of You Are Not Alone, the Michael Jackson song. And I was just like, as soon as you said, another day is gone, I'm like, is that Alex singing You Are Not Alone? I was just like, I was talking. I really enjoyed that performance.
Thank you. Michael's one of my favorite artists of all time. Then, like, no one really tops him for me.
Oh, hands down, man. Have you seen the musical yet?
No, but I want to definitely.
Yeah, I saw it because my family friend is in that show. He plays one of the Jackson brothers, and he's fantastic, a hell of a dancer. And I'd strongly recommend seeing the show, which I'm planning to do again later again this year.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Yes, and I wish you all the best, man, with your new single. What's the title of the single again?
The real package.
The Real Package. Everyone go check it out on Spotify, everywhere, and follow Yestin at
Yestin Senches music, Instagram, and TikTok.
YouTube.
YouTube, I don't really use it, but Instagram's my main platform as well as TikTok.
So if anyone wants to get in touch with you, they could shoot you a DM through Instagram if they want to
Yep,
reach out.
absolutely, absolutely. Shoot me a DM and all that.
Fantastic, man. All the best with everything. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, mate. Really appreciate it.
Have a nice day. Yes, and cheers, mate.
All right, take care, mate.